Good morning. I'm Anchorman Cam, and this is VBS Today, the show where we take a look at the latest in Vacation Bible School news. We here at KTYM are excited to have you join us for what should be an amazing week of Vacation Bible School, right from the comfort of your own home. This week, we'll be looking at the depth of the riches of God from Romans 11, chapter 33. And every day, we'll take a look at an important point from God's Word to help us remember. Today, we're talking about how God keeps His promises. For more on that, let's send it over to weather with Wally. Oh, hey there, Cam. It's me, Wally, over here in the Weather Center. Yeah, I've been following the radar and looking out the window pretty much all day, and I feel like it's gonna rain today, which is why I'm trying to get ready. Got my floaties and my swim trunks, and I found this rain jacket. I couldn't find my umbrella, though. Do you happen to have one? Thanks, Wally. It certainly does look like rain, and that's probably because today we're talking about Noah and his family. You see, in Genesis chapter 6, God warned Noah that there was going to be a worldwide flood and gave him instructions on how to build an ark. He promised Noah that he would protect Noah and his family, as well as all of the animals that he put on the ark. And then in chapter 8, after the floodwaters subsided, God promised Noah that he would never send a flood like that again, because God keeps His promises. You know, kids, when you hear someone say, God keeps His promises, I want you to respond with, Jesus leads the way. Let's practice that. God keeps His promises. Great job. Anytime you hear that phrase, I want you to say, Jesus leads the way. All right, I've just been informed that we are going to go live on assignment with Adventure Andy, our resident explorer. Andy, can you hear me? Andy. Yeah, you appear to be speaking into a stick. Let me see. Let me look around. Here you go.
Thanks. This is Adventure Andy coming to you live from somewhere. I don't really know. Hold on.
Andy, what are you doing out there?
Well, this way, I think. This way. I am on an adventure, of course. My friend gave me this treasure map, and he promised it was the best treasure map in the world. He promised it would lead to the lost city of Oonga Boonga. And so I promised that I would follow this map to the end, and I promised I would find the lost city, and I promised I would get the treasure, and I promised I would bring the treasure back, and I promised to share with all my friends, and I promised we could buy like 1,000,000 popsicles, because I promise you, popsicles are like the best summer treat ever. But I don't know where I am.
Wow. That's a lot of promises.
I know, and now that I'm a little lost, I don't know how I'm going to keep all these promises.
Andy, I'm really glad you're here today because we were just talking about how God keeps His promises.
What do you mean?
I mean that God is the most powerful being in the entire universe, and He promises us that He will always be with us and never leave us. And God always keeps His promises.
Wow, like even if I don't keep my own promises?
Especially if you don't keep your promises. It's impossible for us to be perfect, but not for God. You should always try your best to keep your promises, but it's always good to remember that when you fail, God doesn't. God keeps His promises.
Wow. Like, what else does God promise us?
We were actually just talking about how God promised Noah that He would protect him during the flood, and later on He promised that He would never send a flood like that again. Then, God promised that He would send His Son Jesus into the world to save us from sin and from all the evil things that surround us. And then He did it. That's the most important promise for any of us to remember.
That is really cool.
I know. That's why we're going to be learning all about it this week at Vacation Bible School.
Well, now I know what you're going to be talking about. I'm going to come back every day to hear what you're learning about.
And we would love to have you join us.
Well, now that I know that God keeps His promises, I feel a lot better. But I still have a lot of work to do. No need to explain, but I'll check back with you later. This is Adventure Andy, signing off, zoning out, zooping away. Goodbye. Back to you in the station, Cam. Ouch! Can't go that way.
Oh, well, thanks for checking in with us today, Andy. We'll see you next time. Wow, that was exciting. I'm sure interested to see if Adventure Andy is able to find the lost city of Oonga Boonga? Well, now it's time to turn it over to the Memory Monkey for today's memory verse.
How precious is your steadfast love, O God. Psalm 36, verse 7.
I love that monkey. I can't wait to see what he comes back with tomorrow. Before we move on, let's say that verse one more time together. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. Psalm 36, verse 7. Now, before we close out our broadcast today, I thought we'd take a moment to explore your Vacation Bible School packets together. Each family should have received a packet like this. Inside, you'll find your craft supplies, a bundle of craft sticks, as well as a folder. Let's take a look at the folder. Inside of the folder, you've got recipe cards for each day's snack. You've also got some origami paper. Each day will end with a little origami project. Today is an origami boat. You've also got some coloring pages to help us remember the Bible point for today. And remember, God keeps His promises. And finally, you've got a music download card. Go ahead and scratch off the back to find your code, and you'll be able to download this year's VBS music. Additionally, you've got supplies for every child to be able to do the daily craft. Which brings me to our craft sticks. Now, what I'd like you to do is take this bundle of craft sticks and, as a family, build the best possible boat that you can. Then, I'd like you to see if that boat can float, and not only if it can float, but how many pennies can it hold? Send me a picture of those boats, because if 10 families share a picture, I will do the Ice Bucket Challenge during today's closing live stream. Now let's take a look at how to make our origami boat. All right, friends, that wraps up today's broadcast. Parents, remember to head over to the Facebook group or to trinitybillings.org/VBS for the rest of today's links and information. Remember, God keeps His promises.
Jesus leads the way!
We'll see you this afternoon for our live stream closing at 4:30 p.m.